The fuck you mean, nah?
And welcome to the Rebellion, Sith Happens. Thank you guys for joining us today. This is Eric Dadalorian joining you for our post-Andor episode, what was it, 7, 8, and 9, correct?
7, 8, 9, maybe?
That's right.
Math
I can't
is
believe
hard for me.
it's 7, 8, 9. I can't believe that's where we are now, by the way, that I'm like, holy crap, we've got 9 episodes. The short weeks and it all feeling like a movie is pretty cool.
When we decided that we would be doing the podcast ideally after it aired, I was talking to my wife and she was like, oh my god, this is going to go on for so long. Because Andor last season, 16 episodes. I'm like, no. The reason it's so late, it's 3 episodes every week. And I explained it to her. 4 weeks sounded much better to her.
It would have been funny if she's like, oh god, this is going to go so long. And you were like, no. And you explained to her, she's like, oh, I know. This is going to go on for so long. 1 month, 4 Tuesdays in a month.
But anyway, so episodes 7, 8, and 9, and I'm joined by my two bestest friends, Matt and Anthony, to break this down today, guys. And you could see me wearing the helmet now, because holy shit, dude, that was the pinnacle of Star Wars.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
honest to God.
Before we get into it, this is your spoiler warning.
Yes.
You said I could do it. You said I could do it. It's not.
I did forget that. I forgot about that.
I didn't.
Good job.
I mean, guys, first and foremost, this is not great Star Wars. This is peak premium television. And the nuance in the standing different things when you watch those last 3 episodes. And I told you guys, like, I liked them, but it was sort of like all pizza is good pizza. It made those episodes better. And I mean, I think
100%
probably I want to kick off with what I think was the best moment of it, because there's a lot of good moments.
I think I know what you're going to say.
It's the bellhop being the guy at the front door, and then rebellions are built on hope. If you think about that, and
what was it? I texted you as soon as it happened. He said the line. He said the line.
Yeah, he texted me. You said the line. We were worried that Ant was behind us, and I was like, I know, and like we just knew exactly. But it's like the Leonardo DiCaprio thing. Yep. But and then that being the part of what turns him to help Jin after meeting that noble guy who when Jin needs him to go is amazing.
Yeah. What we witnessed last night, as you said, that wasn't just pinnacle Star Wars. That was pinnacle fucking television. But it's in all seriousness, I like the last 2 weeks we sat down to watch Andor, and like, because these go 3 episodes, it's a full movie every week. By the end of it, I'm feeling like really drowsy. I was out of my fucking seat last night, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was.
Like,
I mean,
what we watched last night was absolutely out of this fucking world. Like,
and
I don't normally cuss this much on the show. I try to keep it PG, but
I do.
Holy shit.
Here's something that was amazing about ratcheting up the tension, right? And I think we're just gonna bounce around on this one. We don't need to go episode by episode if you guys are cool with it. I was talking to my buddy and I was saying, the final chase with him and Mothma was so amazing. He shoots the guy in the, I always wait for Andor to get in a shootout. This is as close as I got this season. Shoots the guy in the head. They're getting out of the building, the tension in that. And I was like, man, the more I want to watch that scene again so many times, but like nothing really happened. And then my buddy goes, yeah, I felt the same way. He goes, it was really a masterclass in directing because essentially you were really thrilled watching a very aggressive power walk. And I was like, that's fair.
Yeah.
But the thing that I really liked in that is that, what I really liked in that is that the thing with the driver. Because when you see him listening to the speech, right, he's got the gun, and you don't really know if she's kind of turned him or not. So when he gets shot, she knows he's crooked, and that's what she said to Cassian. So it's justified, but I think for me as an audience member, I was like, I don't know what he was going to do there. As like a casualty, making the right choice or paying for his bad choices. But I thought that was, again, the shades of gray in that is something that makes the show so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I had to kind of compose myself after last night's episodes because, and honestly, so like bringing all 3 of them in, 7 had a very good setup. I very much enjoyed how 7 set it up. 8 was now the thing with episode 8 is Star Wars has always had good action. It's always had really great action scenes. That put absolute cinematic mastery, motion, and action all within the same scenes. And this is coming from somebody who's in the military, so this is something that I kind of appreciate at certain points. The way that like some of these dudes who are, yeah, let's go fight, and they're like breaking down and like crying in the middle of combat, like that is real shit, man. Like that is real. Tony Gilroy could not have made that action battle sequence any more realistic to what like real shit is like. And oh my god, dude, it was good. Episode 8 will go down as like the best Star Wars I think I have ever watched, and that. Like that, and it's hard to say that.
I love to hear you say that, because I don't know that I've never heard you say that. So I think that's awesome that you are.
You could tell I'm fired up right now, bro.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
I think definitely one thing Andor has done really well so far, and continued on with this arc in 7, 8, and 9 is, like you said, Matt. It's got that sense of tension, and like, doesn't matter if it's one of the more intense parts or one of the slower pieces, but I am on the edge of my seat, like literally, like just like doing my TVA anxiety walk. Yeah, and I'm just like, what's coming next, And I know that's when it's good, because I'm getting like Eric over here. I'm getting a little passionate about it. I'm like, yeah, what the hell is going to happen? We have no idea. So I'm like, it was funny today, everybody. We were debating. Eric, I got to give you a shout out because it was amazing. Today we were debating whether the guy that we just talked about, the hotel desk clerk, died when there was an explosion. I'm like, well, you didn't see him die. And Eric goes, it was like a 30-foot arc. I go, right, but you didn't see him die. And Eric goes, one of us knows explosions. Out of
the three of us, one of us has been trained to assemble, disassemble, and test explosives. And he's currently speaking, not to brag or nothing.
Yeah, that's a brag. But one of the things that I thought was really cool last night, it's funny, I've seen a very mixed reaction to it. And we've been talking all day, and I held this one out with you guys in convo to get your opinions on it. Okay?
I'm curious to hear this.
The scene with the soothsayer, or whatever she was, the nurse or the mess hall lady.
The force healer?
The force healer. That scene, because there was very much like, this has always been said, not a blaster is not a force show. And I was curious your thoughts. I've seen a lot of negative thoughts about it online. And that, it's like, well, that took us out of it. That's what people were complaining about. But at the same time, for me, I loved it. I love the idea that when Bix heard her say that there's a place he's supposed to be, she knew it wasn't with her. Like in her heart, like he's destined for something greater. And I just thought it was really cool. And it tied together. I have this little theory about the stormtroopers. When you watch this, don't miss, right? They don't miss when they're shooting at Rebel commandos.
These are not the A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi ones.
Yeah, right. But if you take the Ewoks out of it, right? They don't miss when they're shooting Rebel commandos. They don't miss, like the Empire, right? It's our heroes. So I have this little theory: the Force is kind of pushing for balance to like bring this together. So I kind of like the idea. There's a little bit of, to me, the will of the Force happening here, that like he needs to be somewhere at an exact time in order to bring the balance.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I really enjoyed that scene personally. At first I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but he literally says, what, a force healer? Like, are you crazy? Like, basically is what he's saying. And she's like, just try it out. Of course we see that he does. And also, sorry, Hall Runner, that we left you hanging last night. Our bad on that.
Yeah.
I know you said that earlier. Hall Runner, as usual, is here for us, and we weren't here for him. So sorry about that, buddy.
It was these going directly after Andor has just been extremely rough. The first week we did, so we've been kind of staggering a little bit, especially because like me personally, I'm talking for me right now, I come in a lot more energetic, a lot more hype, and I can be a lot louder because my kids aren't in my room yet saying that they want to sleep next to us. So
and I think it's important. we're doing discussion videos, not reaction videos. So I think I like that we do it sometimes a little after, because it gives us time to dissect versus just kind of
so
verbal. Not, like,
but on that scene, what I really did like about it is, like, to me it reminded me of, like, I don't know if y'all have ever been at like a street fair or anything where they've got like the fortune teller, it kind of had that vibe, like people are going up to her,
definitely,
and then it's like, is it real, is it not? Some people swear by it, oh, this is real, others laugh at it, like Cass at first, but even you see that it clearly affected him in a positive way, so like then you have to think, like, Cass is stubborn as hell, but like how does that change his outlook from a certain point of view? It kind of has to, so just all these little things are things that I think about too, with keeping in mind what you said of how it all fits into like kind of this bigger picture.
Yeah, and I mean, I think especially there's an element of, now it feels more like but these episodes, the Gorman was brutal. It was amazing, right? The chase, this is still in the flavor of Andor. The way the film is done, I think the closer we're getting to the end of this, the more it's feeling more and more like the look of it is Rogue One. Like, we're getting a little bit more into the Rebel stuff.
Same thing.
Yeah, right. And I think that you need to start bringing these elements in at this point. Otherwise, you're not going to blend into the movies, right? And yes, I think that was what I think was important about that too. Yeah,
even the way that Cass and some of the other rebels are dressing, like on Yavin, very, very much reminiscent of, kind of what Cass was wearing earlier on, but also at the same time, like some of our later rebel look too. So it's kind of all pulling it together.
So anyways, boys, we've bounced around on this a little bit, so let's just go ahead. We'll just get into breaking these things down right in order. So episode 7, perfect setup for 8 and 9, in my opinion. Was a much slower getting their vibe, and like, let's just be real, dude. Willman's character development, dude, he's one of my favorite characters in the show.
He's great, and I love that he's straddling the Saw Luthen thing now. Like, Saw opened his eyes and radical. You know what's funny? When I was rewatching Andor season 1, for some reason I never put this together, but the first person to get killed by Gorst was Willman's father for helping them. And I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't realize that for some reason. So I re-looked that up, and I'm like, it even improves the arc for me. But it's such a good arc. And I mean, I loved in episode 7. To me, we knew Gorman Massacre was going to happen. We know what's coming. I think, we've all talked in Celebration. Gilroy said it's going to be a 5-episode arc. So to get there, that's what happened. It's lined up. So it felt like there was even more, even though it was setting everything up, tension for me, because there was this little part of me. It's like the weirdest thing I've ever said. Just get to the massacre. I want to see the massacre. What happens to the massacre? I want to see those people die.
I want to see a dead body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was really tough to watch it, knowing exactly what's going to happen. It's just like how they're setting it up, and it basically just welcoming this community into this massacre. It was absolutely horrifying to watch. That being said, they did a really good job with the filming, the cinematics. I don't know.
Cinematography.
Yeah, that word.
Cinematography.
That word. Thank you, Matt. But all that shit, it looked great.
I do good words.
It was such a well done show for
Simple
such
Jack.
A horrible event to have to describe.
Yeah, and that first episode, just setting it up, man. Like, you feel the tension and everything going on in that first episode.
Yeah.
And getting into 8, where the shit really starts to hit the fan. Like, I mean, honestly, man, like I said earlier, 8 will go down as episode 8 of Andor season 2 will go down as probably the pinnacle of Star Wars shows, in my opinion. Up till this point, for me, it had been Mandalorian season 2 finale. I think this beat it. Like, I don't know if it's just because it's fresh, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But like right now, it is looking like it, and like it's for honestly 100 reasons.
No, yeah, absolutely, and I think that it, I think that it, for like this structure of Star Wars, is absolutely the pinnacle. I agree. It's going to go down as at least the best episode in this series for sure. But the thing about it that I think made it so good, like you're saying, there's a little bit of a claustrophobia to it. Your understanding of what's going on the outside makes it really intense, because you're like, you kind of are putting two together that they're going to do the wrong thing, and they start, unloading the green Imperial like riot guys, and you're like, this is going to be, and then you're starting to piece together the plan as it's happening, and I feel like you're starting to piece together the plan with Cyril, who I know we're going to get to. So you're kind of living it with him as he's making his final decision. It was a really nice touch to it, because it's sort of like, it's going to happen. He knows something bad's going to happen. So it kind of connects you to him in that way. You're watching this thing ramp up, and you're ramping up with him like, oh, this is getting really bad. This is getting really bad. Yeah. And then you live in his choice to go down and immerse himself into it.
Yeah. And
then not only that, Cyril, is knowing, like, obviously Cass makes it out of there. But now you have to deal with, like, the whole anxiety of how the hell does that happen?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, exactly. Him getting
he
out.
Doesn't
I
die.
Think, I was want to talk about. Yeah, I want to talk about the Cyril part too. A phenomenal arc for a character. And the thing I liked, he makes the choice to go back out. First of all, he rejects Dedra, who, his dreams of being
he more than rejected her.
Choked her out, choked a bitch. But what I think was
harder, Daddy.
Yeah. What really showed with his arc is he was a person who was obsessed with justice and what was just. He wanted to catch Cassian Andor because Cassian Andor killed a Primor security guard, and that's wrong. Mm-hmm. So to him, this is like an unending quest, and in his mind, all of this has been for that, even with the side things that are happening. So you bring him down this arc, which is just phenomenal to bring him down. There are all these things that are happening with him, and there's this trajectory, and then finally, in his mind, this is like the movie Heat. Like, he's hot on Cassian's tail, right? Like, this is cat and mouse. This is in his mind. He finally, you see how obsessed with justice he is, that his whole vision of the Empire and order and safety has been rocked slowly by him falling in love with the people of Gorman and seeing this happen. And he runs out, he like essentially going to die with them. Like, he knows he's got to figure out something to stop this. He freezes, just like he did in episode 3 of Andor. Not a soldier, not competent. Sees Cassian. This is it. They have this fight. He wins. He has Cassian in his crosshairs. Cassian says, "Where do I know you from?"
No, he just says, "Who are you?"
Who are you? Right. He says, "Who are you?" And then he lowers the gun. So the last thought Cyril had, probably, or feeling, was, this was for nothing. This guy didn't even know who I was. I've spent 5 years of my life chasing this man. My entire life was upended. I went down this road I didn't want to. I'm part of a massacre. And when I finally get to him, he forgot it happened. Yeah. What up for a character?
Which I was surprised about, by the way. I really thought Andor and him were going to have like some type of dialogue there. I was really fucking surprised Andor did not have that. I recognize you.
And Ari, who are you, is the best slight for that idiot. That's Ant's brother, Ari, our dear friend. And I just want to read what Hal Runner wrote. He's a chess player. He loved seeing the moment that his opponent realizes too late he's been leading them to their own demise. Well, you certainly saw the Empire do that, my friend. But yeah, I mean, back to
ain't that the truth?
But it's weird. Like, when he was in the square, I'm like, he's gonna die. Then when they had that fight, I was like, Andor's gonna kill him. And then he got the one up on Andor, and when he was lowering the gun, it took me a second to realize. I was like, is he gonna be like, oh, I gotta help this guy, or this is really bad, what's going on there? Oh, he was registering what it was, and what a way, as unceremonious as it should be, because in essence, Earl, despite sort of a noble mind in a way at the end, Cyril is a nobody, and he will always be a nobody, and he was unceremoniously killed with his name not on the wall, and he vied to be a somebody. What a great arc for that character, and you get some empathy for him towards the end there.
Well, it again speaks towards their storytelling and character building too, because I mean, I did not like him at all in the first season. To me, his character was a good character, worthwhile to be in the show, of course, but I was not fond of him. And especially in this last arc, the last 6 episodes, I'm like, this is why I'm watching this. This is a serial show. You know,
Yeah.
this is what I want more.
Yeah,
Cyril.
like it became a redemption arc almost, honestly.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah, and
Now,
I mean,
something I found out. I read an article. I forget where. Entertainment. I don't know. Somewhere on the interwebs. But anyways, the scene where he flops onto the bed and does his awkward bed flop, not scripted at all. He did that, and I guess they asked him like, "Why did you do that?" And he said, "Well, that's what I would do, you know, if it were me in this particular situation." And they were like, "Let's roll with it." So I thought that was pretty fun.
yeah, like that. And I mean, you know, Diego Luna, I think, is the only Star Wars actor to ever get nominated for Best Actor. Those are the Emmys last year, I think, or the Golden Globes. I can't remember. But Denise Gough, Dedra Miro,
So good.
she is fantastic. And
Oh my god, yeah. And
So-
we got to see what the choking scene was finally.
I love that misdirect they had in the trailer, by the way.
That's great.
But I like that she's still getting choked by the weight of the Empire. Right? Like, I think what
Yes.
was so great about it is she becomes the suit all of a sudden is stifling. She really loved him, but she's torn by this, like, what she's supposed to do, this unwavering certainty, right? That this uniform
Yeah.
represents, and it leads the person she loves to his death because she confused him for somebody that wanted this, like, level of power and certainty. He wanted justice, and the Empire is not justice. That's not what they do.
I think
and I love that.
combination though of that and just kind of her kind of, I think she was kind of disgusted with herself a little bit, just in the sense of, you know, the misleading aspect of it, and just like openly doing that to the person that she did unexpectedly, I think, loved.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was ever her plan. They don't show us how it happened. It just all of a sudden it's what we know is that they're together.
Yeah.
So who knows
Yeah.
who knows the how and why of that story, but yeah, I think deep down we
I'm
all
still-
knew how it was going to end.
Yeah. And
I
think
still just love the turn off the lights scene from last arc.
It was
the
great.
I love I like she didn't die in this arc.
Yeah.
I think she has a little bit more story to tell because we need to see.
Yes.
Maybe I think every episode we're like, what if she joins the rebellion? But we saw her reaction
no.
to that, to what she did. There's a part of me that thinks she'll do something. Maybe not join the rebellion, but a lot of this show, you know, with her, with what's going on with Cyril, is people who believe in this other cause starting to
Yeah.
reconcile what that means. And I think, knowing Tony Gilroy's writing as well as I do from not knowing Tony Gilroy, there's a story to be told about her wrestling with what she did and what she either needs to do for redemption or to forget it. And I think that'll probably be the close of her.
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
I
to
think she's
consider,
going to
too.
double down hard.
Yeah, she may, but the other thing to consider too is, you know, in the grand scheme of things, the Empire is still, it's kind of established at this point, but a lot of people probably transitioned not really under the impression that it was going to be the regime that it ended up being.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, oh, here we go, another government shift. We're going to join the bandwagon so we can keep our job. And then, like,
Exactly.
you know, here they are. Like, I think you see that a little bit with the massacre scene itself, too, when you have those kind of different, the different officers and how they're leading their teams. And, like, the one team with, like, the guy who she said they look like kids, but even the commanding officer of that team, it's like, you could tell, like, he was not feeling right about this. But then you get the other guy who's like kind of just, you can tell he's just an asshole. Scarface.
Dude, he's an expert. He's an expert in these type of situations. Like, you know, and that was, I mean, I think really cool. And the most chilling part of the whole thing was when they bring Cyril into the room and you see the KX droids.
Yes.
And you're
yes.
like, this is going to be, Jen and I, my wife, if people don't know who Jen is on the show now, then spoiler, it's my wife. I'm just going to say Jen from now on. We thought the droids were going to kill them.
So I was going to ask you
I
guys.
had kind of that
I
vibe.
didn't have that vibe. I just wasn't sure why. Like, I was like, why are they putting them into a room with the droids? Like, I don't understand that.
See, Ari just said, I think this is the time if it's going to happen. She saw her little tantrum to be about the Gorman, not Cyril. So Ari thinks that her being freaked out and stifled is about what she did to the Gorman people and not Cyril. Probably a combination.
think it's a combination.
I would say.
Yeah,
I would say a combination for sure. Yeah.
No, I think
it's less about the Gorman because she knew what she was doing.
I don't know though. I think there was a part of her that wanted to think that it wasn't going to end that way. And that
Yeah.
part
Yeah,
of her
well, I'll
was
tell
her
you what,
sincerity, because even though she knew deep down that was not how it was going to end, the fact that she believed that there was that option, I think, is ultimately what is bothering her right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that she's
fair.
wrestling with the. You have this feeling of how it's going to go, and I, like I said, Hal Renner just said, "Will we see Dedra in Luthen's gallery next week? Maybe investigating him. He's her great white whale, right beyond Cassian. So, but I think that where's it going with that? Sorry, I lost that when I read that thread. But
at least the Empire spent the whole year trying to find alternatives or synthetic solutions to
before
the
they immediately
material and didn't immediately resort to mass genocide. Oh, yeah,
were
that's
always,
nice.
That was always a quick plan B, though. But yeah, no, I agree. But it's, I mean, I don't want to. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I didn't want to get too far past the KX droids. So this is the only complaint that I have. And Hal Runner, I made you do one of your famous checks on this. When they're shooting the KX droids and it's like bouncing off them, I can't remember if K2SO was taking blaster fire and getting damaged in Rogue One when he died.
He was.
So that was the only thing that I'm going to ever whine about in Star Wars. But with that said, I got to see Cassian slinging that sawed-off blaster sniper rifle combo of the configuration of, we all know my favorite pistol, the Briar. So like I'll take it. And I mean, K2's intro. Like, you knew it was going to be him. Like, and then smart move. Wait till the fourth arc. Let it go into, shift you into Rogue One territory. And a great way after a very heavy, kind of intense couple episodes to get a little K2 at the end, like your old friends there. Yeah. But I love how they did that, because it's similar to what they said about Force Awakens. The first draft had Luke in it all throughout, and the minute Luke was in it, you couldn't introduce the new characters because all anybody cared about was what Luke had been doing. If they had brought K2 earlier in the show than this, he would have been Krennic, and K2 they brought in at exactly the right points in the show, I feel, because they're not a distraction to the story you've built with the more of the characters, which is what Gilroy always said he wanted to do, was avoid cameos to distract from the story. And I think they worked them both in masterfully. And like, part of what I'm so excited about next week is like full-fledged Rebel Alliance, not, Hitman Cassian, though he kind of is for the Rebel Alliance. He's like Black Ops, and a little K2 Adventures. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. I have a feeling, I think we all know it's going to be as heavy as these episodes. It'll get heavy, it'll get dark, but I think it's gonna, like I said, the tone's gonna continue to bring you to Rogue One, and like my plan is to watch Rogue One if I can right after this to see how I feel about it directly following.
Yeah, well, honestly, at the end of the day, like we said, Episode 8 was like absolute pinnacle Star Wars, but it was followed by more fucking pinnacle with Episode 9, because firstly, I don't know if you noticed this, but this so we had Mon Mothma give the speech in front of the Senate, and the same song that was playing when she's giving the speech was that same build-up orchestra from when Marva was giving
was it? I didn't know that.
Yes.
And that's what registered in him, that he had to do this. And that's why he channeled he prompted I Make Friends Everywhere. Yeah. Because he was like, no, I have to get her out. She's what my mom couldn't be. Yeah. Eric, that's real? That's insane. That's so good.
So I am like 99% sure on this. Like, I didn't go and check it, but I'm a very very musically inclined, as far as like I'm very big into musical scores and shows and movies, and I am like 99% sure on this. I'm sure my boy Ashton Sherritt's going to go after this because he does a lot of videos for music in Star Wars, so I'm excited to see what he does.
We should get that guy back soon. I love that guy. But he is a good dude. But
It's gonna be a mushroom.
Hi, I'm Ashton Sherritt. You might remember me from such podcasts as, but no,
but that build up of that orchestra on her speech, because like it was much like it was honestly like a mirror to Marva's, where it started very low, and towards the end it was just building, and then it said, and at the very end, right before it cut off the stream, and it was where she drops Palpatine's name. I for one thought he was gonna pop up out of the center at that point or something like that. But at the same time, the way that everything went, and it was just freaking perfect. She parked her little hovercraft right back, and it was a haul ass situation. And that Black Ops of extracting her out of there.
Yeah.
fantastic.
The Power Walk of Fame is I'm calling it. Crispy SBS called it a Power Walk. That's why.
Yeah.
But that was, by the way, you know what? I don't care if it would have ruined the show. If Palpatine came out of the middle and he was like, zappity, zappity, and like just zapping people and like clapped for her.
What if he just popped up out that
I'm
middle?
fine with
like,
that. I'm
you
fine
said,
with
what,
that.
bitch?
Well, the thing I was interesting was I want to go back and find out who they said was running that session, because it wasn't Masameda, who we know is the vice chair, so he's like the vice emperor. So I thought that was kind of weird, but maybe that's a cameo they didn't want to do. I mean, that's such a minor actually that I can live with it.
It was not any of the emperor's like crew running it.
No, it wasn't. Unlimited power. My wife just dropped in, which is our favorite saying in the house. That, and whenever somebody drops something in another room, we go, "I'm fine. We're all fine here. How are you?"
Yep. You have to do that.
You have to. But I give credit to Jen again on that one. That was her joke. But I mean, I think that run that was so tense. I really love, and by the way, Eric, I choose my headcanon to be that's the same song. We don't even need to check. I want it to be. That's what it is.
It works for me too.
Yeah, and I think that it's shades of his mother, and then that line, because he's seen so many people die. It's Gorman. He just had to shoot 2 people, and that again, I always want this big action. You guys know, and I love blaster fights, and Cassian doesn't fully get into those in the show. It's all very purposeful in the way these things would go down. But I think
they
what I
did
liked
say
about
the
this
Oathkeeper,
was
Hellrunner and Ari both chimed in.
Yeah, the Oathkeeper. That's who he was. So he was kind of like the guy who, he's the guy who knows the law.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you, boys.
He's still
Hellrunner and Ari.
They'll get rid of him
Yeah,
eventually.
he's still at some point. When they disband the Senate in like a year. But the weight of him having to kill 2 people is heavy on him, even though he's killed a lot of people. And, that's something you're seeing there. And when Mon Mothma, asks him kind of what do I do? And he goes, make it worth it. You know what I mean? Make this worth it. It really shows the torment and the people that are doing it, even when the guy who ultimately Eric, we can confirm he blew himself up. I said to Jen, we were watching it, that you think about all these revolutions and all these moments, and at that point we didn't know this guy had a grenade. He was just kind of knew for whatever reason Cassian was there and it was fake, that this guy's a part of something, and you had remembered what he said, that he had family who died in the first massacre. Him letting him in despite not having the pass and doing whatever he did is a small act of courage. And it's kind of like when they Rogue One and the point of all of these things with the, as you get to this battle, this big battle on Yavin and everything, is they're all built on a scale. I didn't know that guy was going to have a grenade at the time, but he was a little more involved in the fight than not just a simple act, but it's these small acts of courage that, similar to what Nemec was saying, that if you keep doing it and you fight the Empire, all these small things will break the siege. And that'll be because they're brittle and they want control, and control is fleeting. So you're seeing all these small acts that build and build and build until the floodgates open. And I think that that's a really nice touch. And it's inspiring because it shows you that despite everything, whether you live or not, if you're fighting to make the world a better place in some way, shape, or form, or the galaxy, each little act of courage, each drop in the bucket is like a feather on an anvil. And when you get enough feathers on an anvil, it falls. And I think that that's a really cool nuance to what they're doing with this, that maybe I'm the only one that's not intentional, I'm the only one picking up on it, but at least for me, that's a lot of the message of what they're saying.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Honestly,
the whole escape scene with Mon Mothma, though, I thought was pretty top-notch. Is there anything more to understand that I might have missed with the whole Baal situation? And he was not a part of that at all.
As far as why he stayed?
No.
Yeah,
just I don't. His guys, the person being the traitor on his team.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So from the way I understood it in there is that he had no idea who these were because it was a safety thing for
exactly.
It was, set in place by the rebellion and everything like that, because even he said no, I don't know him, it's for our own good or something along those lines. He said that, and I was wondering if they were gonna reveal, and
it was just the one,
how they were gonna reveal that per se. And I like the way they did it, where she was trying to communicate with the ISB, the other guy caught her, and bing bam boom, all of a sudden it's.
Well, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, because it seemed very perfectly played, and how they did it. and
Yeah.
I was a little too simple. I was just like, what did I miss? But I thought that leading into that whole scene though, and when Mon Mothma shreds her Senate gown and
Yes.
takes his,
Yeah.
coat. It's like what a symbolic scene, right?
Welcome to the rebellion.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
know, that's yeah.
That's your welcome
It's
to the
so
rebellion.
good, and that's really what the theme. Wasn't that the name of the
I
episode?
believe
Was that
so,
Welcome to the
yeah.
Rebellion?
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
the
and
ninth
that's-
episode one. Yes.
Yeah, that's
That's
perfect. I think that's where this arc is getting you. Welcome to the Rebellion. We are in it for 3 more episodes, and we are really in the thick of it. You guys want to do ratings, or do we think the
And
internet pretty much knows?
hold on, because in the rebellion we finally got our boy Melchi.
Oh, that's
back
true.
on the Yavin.
I have a very funny thing to tell you about
Yeah,
that. So we all know my obsession with blasters, and they're going down the
I
table.
I knew it.
Yeah, they're going down the table, and I'm like, that's Jin's blaster, that's Cassian's blaster from the new toy that's for the next arc, I think, and in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jen goes, "What's that last blaster?" And I go, "That's a Pre-More security blaster. That's one of the ones Cassian stole from Ferrix." And I totally forgot he gave it to Melchi. And then Melchi
Yeah.
popped out, and I was like, "My knowledge of blasters failed me. I should have. Oh my god!" But I mean, our
couldn't
boy
remember
Melchi.
if it was the Pre-More one, but I do remember that it was the one that he gave to him.
Yeah, no, it is the Pre-More one. Don't you worry. But it's souped up. He added like a front charge pack to it and stuff. I went and looked at Pre-More blasters after to, just because it looked a little different to me. I have a custom one that Syndicate Customs made for me also. But neither here nor there. What a nice touch, because I think that's it at the end, getting K2 woken up and Melchi, and now we're heading into Rogue One. It's a little bit of like, this is, if you really think about it, I'm sure we'll have build in the next arc to whatever the final story is, but this was really the build to what now we're going to watch as the grand finale, the final movie, and it's like, welcome to the rebellion.
Yep.
And I think it's such a
And
cool
this
way.
is gonna
Yeah,
be
and
good.
Howlrunner chimed in there and said, what did he say exactly?
He was going to ask us why we didn't talk about Melchi.
No, that was
Ari
Ari.
said that he was going to ask
Mon
us
looked
that.
so surprised
Well, we
when
did.
he said "Welcome to the Rebellion." So I think part of that is I didn't see that as surprise so much as more just like this a realization that this is my life now. Like this is like
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's
I'm no longer in the Senate. I'm no longer gonna be having dinner parties and dancing around in my
Yeah.
fancy clothes. Like this is it. So maybe it was surprise. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't write it, but I think it was more of like, all right, like deep breath. We're in the thick of it. I'm in. This is it.
Yeah, Howlrunner.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that Rebels episode tonight too. But yeah, I think it's like, call it surprise or realization, but that's exactly it. It's like, I don't know. We're all married. It's like, none of us have doubts or anything, but it's like, we when you get married the next day, you're like, wait, I'm married.
Yep.
Like even if you like lived with the person,
exactly.
you know what I mean? So it's like that kind of a realization, or like when you like
Yeah.
do something dumb and you're like, oh shit, I did do that. Like that. This is yeah. And I
so
think that's yeah.
I think she.
Well, I think
very, obviously she's deep into this, deeper than most are at this point. But now, like, this is kind of a point of no return. She's not coming back.
yeah, undoubtedly. Well, I think we can get into the episode ratings now that we talked that. And,
About Melchi. My bad, guys.
but honestly, guys, like I said, some of the best Star Wars I think we have ever seen. A 20 out of 10. Absolutely blown away. That was fantastic.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree. I mean, it was pretty darn perfect. It was the last arc was just setting up this arc, and we knew that, but like it paid off. This show always makes the deliberate wait worth it, and I'm there.
You didn't say anything.
Your turn,
You
brother.
didn't say a number.
I said I agree. 10 out of 10, perfection.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, 10 out of 10.
I was aping on Eric's job.
Nothing. Here's my for all of our new listeners. If there's nothing that I can find in an episode that I don't like, or I'm happy with it, it's a 10 for me. So 10 for me.
Yeah. One day, Ant's
Hell
gonna
yeah.
give something a 7, and Eric and I are gonna faint.
I did once.
What
I
did you
don't-
once?
Yeah.
Did you?
What
Back in,
was
like-
it?
I think it was back in like my early days where I probably.
Are you sure it wasn't Star Wars? Was it? It was Star
No, it
Wars.
was
Was it a
Star Wars.
sandwich? Like I don't want to just.
It was Star Wars. It was maybe something. No, it wouldn't have been Bad Batch. I don't know, but it was great. I mean,
I know the only really
was
low
that
ones
Accolades
me and Matt ever
episode
gave
5
was.
great. No, but it was great.
Well, Anyways, like we all agree already, pinnacle Star Wars. We're gonna move into collector's corner here in a minute. Before we get too heavy into that, though, I am gonna go in and give my boy SaberMax a quick shout out per usual. So let me go ahead and showing off today. What the hell?
Heirloom.
Yes, the OG guys. This is the OG Luke Saber from A New Hope. So this is on their website right now. Pretty low price, by the way. They got great sales going on. $268 comes in baselit, Super NeoPixel, and Profi. This, I mean, this is kind of, in my opinion, when you think Star Wars, this is like one of the lightsabers that really like you think of. Like this is the OG. This is the first one that a lot of us really had memories of seeing on screen and everything like that. So honestly, a great one. Has all the color changing, much like every other lightsaber that they have out there, so you can do multiple colors and everything like that, effects and whatnot. And honestly, a great overall saber.
That's nice.
Now,
the heirloom, the tomato of lightsabers.
It's a tomato of lightsabers in it, and it could be green or red. I was never seen blue tomato before.
I was so into that joke in my head that I waited the whole time. I've eaten a purple potato.
Potato's good. I haven't had a purple tummy.
All right. So,
the Mace Windu of potatoes.
Well, you know what they say: when life hands you tomatoes,
eat a potato.
Starch, motherfucker.
See, Matt, this is what you get me, because that is what was going through my head. All right, okay, we're good.
But all right, so we are going to get into collector's corner now. We haven't done one in a little bit, actually. Yeah. So let's see what we all got to show off this week. Who wants to go first, guys?
You said you have an amazing one, so I want you to go last. Be our grand finale.
Okay.
But unless you want to go first, are you that excited?
I'm pretty excited about it. So this is one.
First,
so a lot of you, some of you may know, I am in the process right now of completely unboxing my entire collection and putting it on shelves, which is something I never thought I would do, by the way.
Yeah.
Matt and Ant here have already seen me send some photos. I have literally everything out of the box except for the Ahsoka line and some of the Book of Boba Fett and the holiday one. So I am nearly there at this point. Sorry, itch, and this doesn't really let you do that much. But what I got today, I wasn't sure if I was going to open this because it's an extremely rare one that I only saw in store once, and it is this guy, Star Killer.
Oh, I love that figure.
I did not.
Like, I was like, this. So, like, this is. I found this guy in Walmart when he first released, and I was shocked because I was like, this is a very rare, like, you won't find gaming grade ones in Walmart, really.
No.
And I found this guy, and like and it is the only time I've ever seen it in the store. Now the only thing I wish about it is that his clothing here was actual cloth. But yeah, this one's awesome. I just opened it today. The posability on it's really great, and I'm actually stoked to like kind of do a couple of things with this.
Yeah,
I will say I'm probably swapping out that blade to go with the blue. Like,
I bought the box set.
I don't know why they went with red.
So I bought, because in the game I guess you can pick. I got the box set, so I had the option for both, but I went blue. That's a great figure. I love, and also like he's the original before Ahsoka to do the upside down saber fighting, which like, I know there's a name for that, but I always forget. But like it's just such, and like he's like, I love using that figure because it's such a fun what if to put my man Star Killer in like regular canon, because like where does he fit? You opened a Vader, right? I mean, you got a picture right there. I took a
I got the recently, I think the only Vader I have is the Obi-Wan one, but that definitely works.
No, they're all the same. It's just a different light belt.
The Obi-Wan one.
But
the one missing the side of the face is different, but you know what I mean, all the body.
Yeah. It's like the only one I don't have from the Obi-Wan, that and Oppo. But yeah, I was super stoked about opening this. Like, I got through Game of Greats and I was like, this one is like awesome. And yeah, like I said, super stoked to bust this one open and figure out some stuff to do with it.
That's a great fig. I'm
awesome.
stoked.
I don't have that one yet.
Oh shit.
From what I understand, it was mildly harder to get.
Really?
You don't have what?
Morak.
Oh,
okay.
Merrick.
Oh, all right.
Merrick.
I knew what you meant.
Marak, right, Marak.
I said it two
from Ahsoka.
Two wrong ways that put together made it right way.
It's pretty good. It was
Ari's comment.
Ari says, "I can't believe you're unboxing, dude. Proud of you, but also shocked." Yeah, Eric's been a lifelong inbox collector up until
little
the
boys
last
growing
couple
up.
years, or a couple months.
I think for like the last like 6 or 7 years, I've been inboxed and just like and your collection actually kind of inspired me because like literally I bought the exact same shelves you had because we were talking about this for weeks on end. And eventually I was like, let's just do this and like let me see if I can take my camera and maybe just show a little bit of it. So
yeah, show it off.
Hell Runner giving the fix. Maroc is the way you say it.
so it's a little obviously it's a
Maroc.
little hard to see.
Like
I just
Morocco
don't got
minus
the lighting
the O.
up and stuff right now, but I will eventually have a full thing up on it once I get everything unboxed.
So cool. Dude, I love that. I used to have the shelves all over my place. I got a little too crazy. You guys have separate rooms for it. Mine was my
You
main room.
live in
That's why
New
I've toned
York.
it down.
If you had any more figures out, I would tell you to put them away.
It'd be difficult.
Yep, you
but
can't
yeah,
do it.
I it's funny for Ant
How
and
are
my
you saving the mirror boxes? And no, I'm not. I don't have room because I have like 400 of these. And then Ari said you guys broke him, and yes, they did. Ari, they did break me.
And we didn't even have to say anything to do it. Like he totally just. I mean, we might
he
have.
opened 2 figures and took pictures of it, and Ant and I just encouraged. We're like, you could do whatever you want to do if you want to have fun or not.
You don't want to have any fun? Sure, don't do it. But I mean,
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, if you want to just stare.
I'll
at
put up a
things.
big picture once I get everything out of the box.
Nice.
Though, but it's looking really great so far, and excited to have all these to kind of do that same stuff you guys do with them. Honestly,
Yeah.
And you're killing it,
I mean,
man.
your
You're
photos
taking
look
some
great.
awesome
You're
pictures.
killing it, man. We've already done a couple collabs with you.
yeah.
The Sith Happens photo collabs.
did one,
But yeah, Ant, I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you want to go? Or do you want me? Ant and I had to figure out. We both got a lot of the same figures.
Yeah, we had
recently. So we had to be like, did you show this one? I don't think I did, but I was going to tonight. Well, can you show this one?
So I'm going.
So yeah,
I'm going with our boy Moff Gideon
Ooh.
from Mando season 3.
I got that one recently
So-
too. That thing is awesome.
I think this figure's great. I don't really have any qualms. I mean, you guys know I'm weird where I don't mind it being a cloth cape, so that's not like a huge.
We
like,
prefer it.
It's not like for me.
I
It's not
definitely
like, oh
prefer
my
it.
god, this one has it, so it's that much better. But I mean, it is a great cape. I have nothing against them. I just don't get really freaked out about them. Of course, we all know who doesn't like.
It's Moff Gideon.
It's Moff Gideon. But is it though? Is it?
Which the face sculpt is amazing, by
It's
the
really
way.
good. He doesn't have a mustache, though, guys. Should I give him mine?
Well, he didn't have one. He didn't have one at the end of the season.
No,
That's
no, I
accurate.
know. That's what I'm saying. He did not have one, but you guys know that the.
Oh, you said
what
should
we're
you
talking-
give him yours? Yeah.
I'm just
Give
yeah.
him a mustache ride.
No, but is this really Moff Gideon's clone?
I don't know. I feel like
Because he doesn't
I
have a
accept-
mustache.
Yeah, I accept that that it is.
In Clone
I'm
Wars,
cool if it's
Vader?
not, but all of his clones in the tanks I don't think did, so it'd be a fresh one.
Yeah.
It's not a rescue. It's not a rescue Gideon. It's a fresh
Yeah,
Gideon.
it's fresh.
But
Gideon.
I thought that figure's great. I took
Yeah.
a photo and posted next week of him, and it's a great figure. I love the staff and everything. I mean, it's all new parts.
staff is
It's
good.
it is just phenomenal.
Posability's fantastic.
He's got good.
I do love how it comes with the staff both open and folded.
Yes, I loved that too, and I'm glad that it's not like a staff you could take parts out of because those always snap when it's that thin. So I'm totally with you.
Yeah. No, it's really
I was
great.
when I was taking the photo, like, do I go folded, unfolded? Like I was like trying to figure it out.
just-
So I guess I'll have to do
I
one
can-
one
I
way and
just
one the
got
other.
both in it.
I can't wait till I get some of the Praetorian guards to do with that, like you did, Matt. Like that shit
Yeah,
came
they're
out just
great.
so fire.
I bought 2, and it's like I'm trying to not troop build anymore. So for certain things where I know I'm going to use more, I was going to buy 3 to make it accurate, but it's hard to fit 3 in a picture. It's not worth it. I can always add 1 in after, but those are. I got literally 8 figures this weekend. Some of them were troop building, but so like I got
R.I.P.
Gideon,
your
I got
wallet.
Praetorians, I got all my pre-orders like came out of nowhere. The only one that didn't was Anakin, but that's okay because this guy came. Phase 1 Rex. I mean, this figure. I'm gushing about this figure. It's just the modern clone body, which you guys know I love
such
the
a
modern
sleek
clone
figure.
body. But what I love about it is it's got all the articulation that we look for in figures like this. He can finally do this with both of his guns in a not Bad Batch figure way. It's got the new clone body instead of reusing the old body. So the stuff with the floating knee pads, the floating armor. I love the way the pauldron is on it. Like I think it looks really cool when he raises his blaster. It doesn't look too much like it's popping up around his neck. The one complaint, but I'm never going to photo him like this anyway, I can swap, is this head is wildly inferior to the head that came with the other Rexes. Like, this looks like they were like, oh, maybe people won't take the helmet off that much. The hair is like neon blonde. But overall, I'm going to use him like this for the most part anyway. I was so excited when I got this guy.
He never took his helmet off in Ahsoka.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I went and watched the Rookies episode of Clone Wars because I got him in Commando droids, and that's the first episode. I literally went and I was like, I'm gonna watch Rookies, and then I started watching episodes, and I looked up, when did Rex go from phase 1 to phase 2 armor? Because like a child, whenever I buy toys, I want to watch the episodes of that toy. So I was like, I am exclusively watching episodes where Rex is in his phase 1 armor for the night when I got him.
What's cool is that'll go really good in pictures if you have any of the phase 1 clones from the Attack of the Clones line.
Yeah, I think I do. I have so many clones in bags. I think I do. But yeah, anyway, that's my figure. 10 out of 10. Love it.
That's great. I love that one too.
Man, we had good figures this week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Like, there are some weeks where we have just like, yeah, this is cool. Like, we all had like really good ones this week.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. This was a really fun week for this.
Listen, good episodes, good figs, good sabers. Like, keep this shit going.
Yeah, man. This was a good Star Wars week, I think, for all of us.
Hell yeah! And
we got 2 casts done.
We had great releases too, because we just got that. Unfortunately, I don't have the photo to share right now, but we got that ISB Tactical Agent announced from Hasbro coming out. That's a Target exclusive. In addition to that, we also got the Commander Cody Black Series helmet announced coming out of Hasbro. I don't know if that's a fan channel one or something like that. I will double check and get back.
And then there was also,
I'm stoked for that ISB
I don't know
Tactical
if it was today
guy
or not, but then the other gaming grades with the BX and Droideka.
Yeah.
I am pumped for that one.
I saw that.
Yes.
Honestly, I love the look of the droids in that game. I'm obsessed, so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
But absolutely screw trying to stand B1 battle droids up.
I'm not gonna refute. I agree.
Battle droids really worth investing, and Hex stands for. That's all I'll say to anybody.
I need to get a couple of those. I can tell you that.
I can show you right now really quick. I can't recommend this company enough.
Outside, Eric, is you could just dig those little feet into the ground.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, this is what I use for photos. It's called Elevate. It's really cool, and I don't have them over here, but they're these Hex stands, as they call them, and they actually have little boxes that you can lock them into, so you can tier your figures on your shelf, so you can have them higher than the other ones.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, boys, we're going to wrap this week up, talk about an amazing week. But to all of our listeners and viewers out there, we want to just say thank you so much, guys, for joining in with us for really, as we break down just an absolute peak Star Wars week of an amazing show, some amazing figs and everything. We encourage you guys to go check out our Instagram at Sith Happens _Star Wars podcast, and check out our link tree in there, where you will be able to find all of our various links, such as our YouTube, Spotify, and our Amazon Music. Please smash that like and subscribe button. Every like and subscribe, we really appreciate it, guys. So we are going to sign off for the night, and Ant, why don't you lead us away, brother?
Heck yeah. What are you?
Hey, and you know what? I just unboxed Grievous, Matt, and you know what? He's standing up. I had no difficulty.
Jen asked if there was a Hex stand equivalent for Grievous just picking fights. Well, you know what I have to say to both of you guys? I thought we were friends, and I make friends everywhere.
I have friends everywhere.
Because I also have friends everywhere.
Good try.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Maybe we should just be friends.
Well, I mean,
yeah, let's do it.
The three of us are the bestest of friends, and we all live in completely different parts of the country. So yes, I have friends everywhere.
Wow. It's true. Absolutely.
We're rebels. We're rebels.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we're rebels.
Yeah, I am. You can find me on Instagram. I am not a committee, as I never. I always fail to mention that. But no, great time tonight, guys. I hope to see y'all next week for the finale. And I'm excited. I am nothing short of excited, and I know it's going to be great. I have no doubts. We know how it's going to end because we know how Rogue One starts. So I am.
Yeah, we do.
We're just putting in a little bit of fill in here, and it's going to be fantastic. So
that's perfect.
I'm ready for some K2, and let the games begin there.
And I'll just say I am Black Series Daily Desk, and may the Force be with you always.
And guys, I'm Eric the Dadalorian. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the way.
This is the way.